In a world where everyone is launching their own truly wireless solution, OnePlus has decided to buck the trend and instead launch a budget version of their neckband style earphones. This is the OnePlus Bullets Wireless Z. So, are they worth looking into? Let's find out in today's video. Hey guys, Omoto here from C4eTech, and if you do end up enjoying this video, then please subscribe and consider turning on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Let's now get started. Now from a looks perspective, the Bullets Wireless Z look very similar to the OnePlus Bullets Wireless 2 that we reviewed last year. So if you have seen that review, you guys already know that Ash prefers the neckband design over the truly wireless ones. And honestly, I'm in the same boat as well. From the partially in-ear design of the Realme Buds Air to the totally in-ear ones like the Redmi Earphones S. No matter how good the fit and finish of these products are, I always kind of feel they might pop out of my ears, especially when out and about on our bumpy Indian roads. That's why the Bullets Wireless Z with its magnetic clasp design feels so much more secure in my opinion. Of course, there's one more advantage with the neckband design. No need to carry a separate charging case. So overall, if I were to pick between the two styles of earphones, I'd go for around the neck ones. That's just personal preference though. Okay, so I'm kind of curious now. What design do you guys prefer? Here's a poll, let us know. So coming back to the OnePlus Bullets Wireless Z, weighing in at just 28 grams, the Bullet Wireless Z sit comfortably on our necks. And the in-ear buds provide a great secure feel inside the ears without feeling like it's creating a pressure on them. I listened to them for a couple of hours and I didn't feel any ear fatigue at all. So the fit and finish is just as good as the OnePlus Bullets Wireless 2. Of course, there are some differences like the primarily plastic construction in here, but the main USPs of the Bullet Wireless, the magnetic pause and play, the faster charging, and the quick switch between devices, they're all present and accounted for. One other thing that's missing with the Bullets Wireless Z is that red carrying case. The unboxing here was pretty minimalistic. We have the earphones, a OnePlus Type-C charging cable, and finally 2 sets of extra ear tips. So OnePlus does advertise these headsets as being compatible with quick pair. They're supposed to work with all OnePlus devices from the OnePlus 5 upwards. But in our testing, we couldn't get it to really work with the OnePlus 70 Pro. Interestingly enough, it did end up working with the older OnePlus 5. Now that being said, the regular pairing process is pretty easy too. Separate the two earbuds to switch them on, search for the headset from our mobile and then tap to connect. It works well and I had no trouble connecting the OnePlus 7T or the Realme 6. Thanks to the inclusion of Bluetooth 5.0, we can now pair these headsets with two devices at once, and switching between them is as easy as double tapping this button. Double tapping on it again, it brings us back to the original device. Very handy if you, like me, use the same earphones to connect your laptop as well as your phone. So built-in connectivity are all great, but how do they sound? Well, the OnePlus Bullets Wireless Z come with 9.2mm drivers, and in one word, the sound experience here is great. Loud volume, great instrument separation, crisp dialogues, and the mids and highs are very well defined. If I had to criticize one aspect of the earphone, that would be a slight lack of bass. But that's only if I'm comparing it to the larger 10mm drivers of the OnePlus Bullets Wireless 2. If you're comparing it to Bluetooth earphones in the under 2K price range, there's very little to find at fault here. In fact, I think these sound much better than the Realme Buds Bluetooth earphones that we have previously always recommended in this price range. As far as codec support goes, we do have support for HD audio AAC, but there's no aptX HD support as we had with the Bullets Wireless 2. Coming to the call quality, we took a couple of voice calls and there were no problems. The person at the other end could hear us clearly. And it's not just calls, the Bullet Wireless 2 shines while gaming too. With Fanatic mode on OnePlus devices, we can bring down the latency of these earphones down to just 110 milliseconds, which means playing PUBG with these on felt just as good as with wired headsets. Now, even without the low latency mode that's exclusive to OnePlus phones, we tried it out with the Realme 6 and the audio sync delay wasn't that noticeable here either. Now, one more thing that impressed us about the OnePlus Bullets Wireless Z was just how long it lasts. The company claims around 20 hours of battery life, and in our testing at around 80% volume, it easily lasted us for over 18 hours. Not just that, we have OnePlus's own fast charging on board too. So charging with the new Warp Charge 30T is supposed to give us 10 hours of playback from just 10 minutes of charging. A full charge from 0 to 100 using the same Warp Charge 30T took under 25 minutes. That's just plain impressive. Okay, so now we are down to the controls. We have the magnetic play and pause as we mentioned earlier. So there's no in-ear detection since when we put the two ends together, the music pauses and the earbuds power off. Separating them doesn't resume playback on non-OnePlus devices. Instead, we have to use this middle button on the remote. A single click resumes or pauses media playback. However, on OnePlus devices, we do have autoplay. Well, once that feature is enabled from the settings menu at least. We can also double tap the middle button to skip tracks and press and hold to summon Google Assistant. Calls can also be controlled through the same remote. Then we have volume up and down buttons flanking the middle button. Their function is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to go into that. We also have the quick switch button here that when long pressed puts the earphones into pairing mode. So overall, what are my thoughts on the OnePlus Bullets Wireless Z? Well, it has great battery life, fast charging, and most importantly, they sound better than any of the other neckband earphones in this category. So at 1999 rupees, I'd recommend these over the Realme or Xiaomi neckband earphones. Now what about the truly wireless options? Well, I prefer the sound output from these compared to the Redmi Earbuds S. However, we do have a new entry in the list, the Realme Buds Neo. They cost 1000 rupees more, but they bring with them the truly wireless form factor that everyone is after nowadays. About quality, well, I can't really say much since we haven't tested them out, but would you guys like to see a comparison between them and the OnePlus Bullets Wireless Z? Let us know in the comments below. As for now, if you don't mind the form factor, then the Bullets Wireless Z is one of the best Bluetooth earphones available under 2000 rupees, and I'm sure you wouldn't regret getting one of them. So those were my 2 cents. Now I want to know what you guys think. Do you like the Bullets Wireless Z, or would you prefer to go for some other truly wireless solution in the same price range? Let us know via the comments. As always, like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot for sticking around till the end, guys. Have a good one. Cheers.